Welcome to Toffee TV. It is play ratings. Everton 3, Burnley 1. Just a mad game of football. For 59 minutes, we were very much the second best side in this in the game. Excuse my voice. And then, we got an equaliser from Michael Keane, a worldie from Townsend, a goal from Damari Gray, and Goodison was doing what Goodison does best, which is rock. Just an unbelievable passage of play. Imagine if the Corey got himself on side to the fourth, a goal that he very much deserved. Not a vintage Everton display by any means. As I said, for an hour we weren't brilliant, but we won. We won 3-1. A mad game at Goodison Park, and I thought for like an hour we got pretty much bullied by Burnley. I thought we got bullied massively, and we got the goal at the right time because it was before we actually changed things. It was before we changed things. So we got the goal at the right time. It got us back into the game, and then we changed the game. We brought Gomes on. We got control of the midfield. The three at the back wasn't really working at all, and once we got hold of the midfield, I thought and obviously 2 goals in a minute or 2 goals in 2 minutes just really put the end of Burnley, really, to be honest. And as I said, if we'd got the fourth one, it would have been absolutely incredible. But just to get those 2 goals in 2 minutes was fantastic. And as I said, Burnley played really well. First half, they played really well. I wasn't sure because I'm sort of glad you can't get any signal in Goodison anymore, so I don't have to. So you don't have to worry about me putting out any silly tweets or anything like that. But they actually surprised me how well they played in that first half. And although they are really, really dirty, they are really, really dirty team. They are getting the benefits of this new rule change. It has to be said. They are getting all the benefits of that. They were dirty. I thought the ref was... I don't like moaning about refs, but I thought the ref was useless tonight because he did really let them get away with murder, to be honest. Because they were just going around kicking our players. And what was funny about it was the first bad one that we did led to the goal, led to the foul, to the free kick that came in. But I suppose what I would say is they probably deserved that goal because they just did what they do best. They kicked the hell out of us. They were time wasting. They were horrible. They were getting the crowd's back up. It wasn't like when fans are like the other side of it when we're sort of kicking off and it's great. It was like we were getting on there. They loved it. They loved all that. They loved it. But I thought tonight that the ref I like the new rules. I like the fact that the game's not stopping every 5 minutes. But I did think he let them get away with a hell of a lot. So, but I don't want to see that back 5 because the problem with the back 5 is, or certainly, when teams press us like they did, it didn't give us anywhere to go because the wingers or the wing backs are full backs, and they don't want to naturally push on. So they were pressing us really high, and it didn't give us anywhere to go because we didn't actually have any wingers. And it was only really when we put Gomes in midfield and went to 4-4-2 or 4-1-1 that I thought we got a grip of the game, even though we'd got it back to 1-1. So I don't know whether that was Benitez's plan, but I thought once we went back into 4 at the back, I thought we took control of the game. I thought, I didn't think Godfrey had the best performance, but I didn't think Yerry Mina had the best performance. But anyway, let's get into the player ratings, because that's what we're here for. It's just that when I come back from a match, and I know I've only do a couple of minutes at the ground, and I don't think the sound was particularly good on me player ratings anyway tonight, on me match reaction. But I do like to just get into the game a little bit. But let's just get into the player ratings. Jordan Pickford, he didn't really have anything to do. He couldn't do anything about the goal. Maybe he could have done better on the one that was disallowed, but it was disallowed, so what does it really matter? He didn't have anything to do other than that. I thought he did okay. They're horrible, so every time, he came out and commanded, he punched and stuff. So a 6, I'll give him a 6 for tonight. Godfrey, I don't think he played particularly well. He didn't look particularly fit. And when I say fit, I just match fit. I believe he's been struggling with COVID, and that's what obviously has been the problem. And it's sort of lingered on longer than we'd like to have done. He didn't look like his strong, normal self, so I'll give him a 5. Yerry Mina, I thought personally Woods really won the battle between Yerry Mina and him. I thought Wood was really upsetting him all night, and really, again, because of the physical attributes of the game and the way it's changed this season, I thought that just suits Burnley, and it really suited Wood, and I thought he unnerved Yerry Mina, who again, I'm not particularly sure playing in a 3 really suits him. So I'd probably give Yerry Mina a 5 as well, if I'm honest. I didn't think he played that well. Michael Keane obviously scored the goal, but again, he was a little bit iffy as well, wasn't he? They love throwing the ball in the air. So I'd give him a 6 because he got the goal. Again, I don't think he was particularly great tonight. And I just don't think 3 at the back suits him. I don't think it suits Yerry Mina. And they pressed. Because we were trying to play it behind, trying to play along the back line and weren't moving it quickly, because the fullbacks weren't tucked in, it gave them nowhere to go. And it made them really nervous. You could see the nerves on the back line. It was, you could see it. So, and that I just think that meant that the 3 of them really never had a decent game at all. Keane got the goal, of course, and that was a really important goal. But Sheamus Coleman, I'd give Sheamus Coleman, probably give him a 6 as well. I think he tried. He's just not a wing back. He's not a wing back, and I think the manager almost tries to do that just to help him out. But he's not a wing back. I remember when we tried to play in right midfield, it just doesn't suit him. I don't think he's I don't think he's I think seeing at this age, I don't think he can play in that role. You lose what he's good at. I did like it when he got stuck in. When he got stuck into one of their players when it went off. I think it was in the first half where one of their players and Richarlison had a bit of a it was just a challenge and the lad went down at injury. I don't know what happened, but Sheamus Coleman steamed in and that was good. But again, I just don't think that particularly suits him, that role. On the other side, Luca Dean. I don't think Luca Dean had a very good game again. I think his deliveries are poor. And I don't think he suits playing wing back either. I can understand what the manager's trying to do, and it was difficult tonight because of no Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and we had to play in a different way and get more out the wingers, which worked, I think, in the second half. But yeah, I'd give Dean a 5, I think, and that might be. Yeah, a 5 because he at least he gets in there, he gets stuck in. But going forward, he hasn't looked the same player this season. I don't know why. He just hasn't looked the same player at all. In midfield, Allen, excellent. I'd say excellent again. Just breaking things up, but trying to be a little bit more creative as well. I think it was difficult for him and Decore in the first half, but I think once he got the bit between the teeth in the second half, I thought he started to grab hold of things. So I'd give him a 7.5. But of course, he's helped by the guy next to him, Decore, who I just thought he was brilliant tonight. I really did. I just thought he was superb. Every time the ball dropped, he was on it. Every time there was an opportunity to go forward, he was going forward. His ball for the third goal is just sublime to get Gray away. Unlucky not to get a goal, but obviously he was offside. He's just like he's like that midfielder we've been waiting for, that all-round midfielder who is box to box. I just wish he was probably a couple of years younger. But tonight he was just fantastic. He was just fantastic tonight, and I'd give him a 9 because I just thought he was everywhere, all over the pitch, defensively, going forward. Getting just every time the ball dropped, he was on it, and Allen's supporting them, and just they look like a good pair. They looked like a good pair last season, but we're a little bit less positive, I suppose. I think this season Decore looks fitter, which means he can get around the pitch more. And I think the manager trusts that he can get around the pitch more as well. I think the manager trusts other players as well, that if he gets up the pitch, and that's, you look at someone like Andres Townsend, who I'll mention in a moment. The manager trusts other players. Now, whether that's down to fitness, whether that's down to coaching, tactically doing different things, he's been given license. He's got the trust of the manager. I don't think last season Carlo Ancelotti fully trusted not Decore or Allen as such, but maybe the rest of the team. And let's be honest, a lot of last season Decore was covering for James Rodriguez, and this is where the whole James Rodriguez debate comes in. If James Rodriguez is in that side, is Decore the same player? Is he allowed the freedom to get up and down the pitch and playing that number 8? That's why, ultimately, the manager doesn't want James Rodriguez in this team. It's as simple as that. Because he knows he's going to get more work rate out of other people, and that work rate is going to manifest itself in wins and assists and goals. And that's what this manager wants. And that's what he sees. And as much as James Rodriguez is a fantastic player, if he's not working as hard as the manager wants him to do, and if someone else is having to do his work for him, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. And I think the manager's challenged James Rodriguez to do it, and he simply hasn't stepped up to that mark. So I think that's why what we're seeing from Decore so far this season, we're seeing a player who doesn't have to cover someone else's arse. It's as simple as that. Yeah, so I've given him a 9. Andres Townsend, let me just talk about the basic things. Worked his bollocks off. Absolutely works his bollocks off for the team. Hard worker, which is funny because I used to slag him off for not being a hard worker, but he is a hard worker. Does his job, but just has that little bit of class, which showed tonight. That little bit of class that can do magical things, and we saw the magical things tonight. His work rate is fantastic. He was adding another presence in the midfield. But I mean, number one, the cross for our first goal is superb. It's right on, it's right on Keane's head. But the second one is his goal is just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And you know what I loved about it? And I don't feel like I'm exaggerating when I say this, but when he hit it, it felt like everybody in the ground held their breath. It felt like, and I'll be honest, like the only other time I can remember that happening was when Arteta scored against Fiorentina. And I know they're different matches and everything else, but when he hit that shot, it just felt like the whole of Goodison went quiet in anticipation of what was coming, because you could see, and I know, listen, between the distance, the time between it leaving his footing and the back of the net is minuscule, but it just felt like every single person held their breath, and then there was just an explosion of joy when it hit the back of the net. It was an absolutely sublime hit that he meant all the way, and as soon as it left his foot, it was in the back of the net. And it was that moment of just pure anticipation to see what would happen, and hope that it would hit the back of the net, and it would just flew in. And the other thing about it is, like, their goalie's not small, so the fact that it flew over his head was just wonderful. It was just wonderful. It was just an incredible goal. And honestly, he's getting a 10 because he had an assist and he scored that goal. So Andres Townsend is getting a 10, because if you score a goal like that, you're getting a 10. If we win the game, He scored, he's got an assist, but to score like that, you're getting a 10, because that was incredible. That was an incredible goal. And the place just went nuts. So yeah, it was just an amazing moment. It was just one of those amazing moments that, even though the game was Everton versus Burnley, it just felt more. And then to score straight afterwards, was just, while everyone was still buzzing, absolutely still buzzing, was just amazing. Let's talk about Demarai Gray. Demarai Gray, positive, wants to run with the ball, wants to take people on, wants to have shots, wants to get crosses in, cutting in. But the main thing is he wants to score goals as well. And he's got 3 and 3. And the ball from the corner was sublime. He spots the run. Right, he cuts right through their defence, and it's one of those moments that at Everton it doesn't always come off. It doesn't always come off. 2-1 up, the place is rocking, and you think, get it if you get a third now, and he just finished it wonderfully. To make it 3-1, and the whole ground was just shaking at that point, because we were just destroying them. 3 goals in what, 6 minutes was it? We just destroyed them in those moments. So I'll give Demarai Gray an 8. What a finish though! You very rarely see that at Goodison, a player go through one-on-one and just finish as coolly as he did. Because it was a big moment. That was a really big moment in the game. You're 2-1 up. Big chance to make it 3 only a minute later. And he just slots it. No problem. Cool as you like. And for those 2 players to have brought them in for 1.7 million or whatever it's been spoke about. Probably less combined wages than Bernard. And they've got more goals and assists between them in the first 4 games than I think Bernard's probably had in 2 years. And that's no slight on Bernard. I'm just pointing out facts. They've been, I think a lot of people, question those signings, but so far they've been fantastic because they've got an end product basically. I've bemoaned the fact of the goals in this Everton side, but we scored another 3 tonight, and that's without playing particularly well for an hour. I think for that first hour we may have had one shot on target, which was the Corey one in the first half. I might be wrong, but it didn't feel like we had many more. So to just, the way we flew back was so good, and you need a moment like that, and Damari Gray puts it in. Richarlison wasn't easy for Richarlison tonight, and I think we really missed, certainly in the first half, Dom's hold up play, but the manager obviously feels like the injuries haven't gone away in the first couple of weeks, in the last couple of weeks, sorry. So I think it was important probably to leave him out, trust Richarlison, trust that you've got Rondon on the bench as well. And I thought it was difficult for him tonight because we really missed his presence actually playing between the lines, and yet he wasn't really doing what Dom does up front. So it was really difficult for Richarlison tonight. I think he worked hard. I think he tried hard, but there was never really a creative spark with him. It's tough playing against their players because you have to. He wants the ball, so he's going to go looking for it. So every time we play a long ball, he's never really going to win it. So it was a tough night for him. I'll give him a 6. But as I said, creatively, he wasn't really in the game. It was really difficult for him. I thought he worked hard, but nothing really went for him. Nothing really went for him at all. You could see he was gutted when he came off because he wants to score goals. But he worked hard tonight. He just didn't get any rewards. Simple as that for his work rate. So he's not. I would imagine if Rondon maybe had trained a little bit more, he may have started. Because he would have suited that. He would have loved that. He would have loved that tonight, Rondon, if he was fit. But he's not. And Richarlison isn't the same kind of player as Dom. He works better playing from a deeper role, and playing between the lines. But there you go. The subs. Andre Gomes was brilliant once again, coming off the bench. He's come on the last 3 games now, hasn't he? And I think he's been really good in all 3 games, and tonight was no different. He came on. He got hold of the ball, started controlling the midfield, and give us the ability to just play through the midfield. Whereas before, we never really had that because our 2 midfielders were busy trying to get the ball. We didn't have anyone to hold on to the ball. And when Gomes came on, and it was actually a brave decision by the manager because I think he came on just after we'd scored, didn't he? I think. So, I know he was getting ready to come on and then we scored. But then sometimes managers decide, I'll leave things as they are because we've got it back. But the manager obviously felt like, regardless of what the score was, a change needed to come. 61 minutes, yeah. A change needed to come, and we were playing 3 at the back, and it wasn't working because it was a 5 at the back, and then we were getting overrun in midfield, and we had no real width. But when Gomes came on, the Corey went a little bit higher then. We went to more like a 4-4-1-1 with the Corey almost playing as a number 10. Or Gray coming in and stuff, and he got hold of the game brilliantly. So I'd give him a 7. And he's done that in the last 3 games. He's been really good coming off the bench. Someone really. Huddersfield came on and he changed the game. Against I think against Brighton, it was similar. It was unfortunate that I thought Iwobi would have started this game and he didn't. But I thought that was almost like his role. But I think that's clever by the manager. The manager's seeing the little things that each player can provide, and Gomes looks strong at the moment. He looks like he's able to hold on to the ball and move a little bit quicker, and other players are doing the job that maybe he doesn't want to do, like Allen. And I thought he was great when he came on. I thought he was fantastic. The other 2 players, Rondon and Iwobi, I won't give them scores because hang on. Iwobi was on for 2 minutes and Rondon was on for 9 minutes. Rondon a 6, Iwobi NA because he was only on for 2 minutes. Rondon, I will give him Rondon 6 because the first thing he did was he got the ball and he ran and just stayed in the corner, and I like that. It was 9 minutes to go and he ran to the corner. Fair play to you. Let's not talk about Gomes' shooting. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. But Gomes has looked really good in the last few games. He really has, coming off the bench. And we've got, just as a whole, we've got the ability to change things. This is the second time we've been getting beat at home, and we've turned it around and won 3-1. We've got options coming off the bench, and they're options where they really help the team tactically, just get hold of the game. And I think, in the three games we've won, I think we've really dominated. And actually, going back to the Leeds game, and I said this at the time, it was that 5 minutes where we were 2-1 up and they made the sub, and we never made the sub, and it was in that 5 minutes that they got the equaliser, and then we made the sub, and then we looked like the stronger side. And I said at the time, and listen, hindsight's a great thing, I said at the time, I just wish that we'd made that sub almost straight away, because if we had, I think we would have won that game. So that sort of plays into what I'm saying about Gomes coming on at 1-1, not changing, him knowing what the problem was, and yet still making the change. Didn't matter that we scored. We were still second best in the game. So he made the change and we scored 2 goals and we've gone on and we controlled the game. They had one, the offside goal, which was either offside or a foul on Pickford. It's one or the other. I don't know what they were complaining about. So happy days. 3 points. 3 points. 10 points from 12. Fantastic. Great start to the season. Not going to get carried away. It's been a good start. Players look like they've got energy. They look like they're fitter. They're hungrier. They know what they're doing. And that's all you can ask. That's all you can ask. Listen. In technical terms, Decore was the man of the match. He was the best player on the pitch. But how can I not give 10 to Townsend for that goal? How can I not? So, I mean, Decore technically was man of the match. He was the best player all game, but that goal was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So, there you go. I'm happy. I'm happy. Villa now Saturday. Tough game. But they're all tough. But we seem to have a little bit of nous about us. We seem to have a little bit of tactical nous. Manager's knows what he's doing. We look organised. We're not going to play teams like Burnley every game where they're going to bounce you around the pitch. So happy days. The only disappointing thing was that we didn't score any goals in the Gladys Street. That's the only disappointing thing. But we got the 3 in the last game in the Gladys Street. But The Gladys Street was boss tonight. When that second one and when that third one in, it was just carnage, absolute carnage, and that's the way I like it. That's because it's just the best place. When Everton are scoring goals like that, there's nowhere better to be in the world than the Gladys Street. You know, you can sit in your Bullens in the Tory seats like Baz, or you can be in the Gladys Street with the working men. There you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you check out my instant match reaction or instant Gladys Street reaction. From the Gladys Street, of course, with stewards shouting at me to get out. I mean, lads, get over yourselves. You're paid to do a job. Stick around and do it. I pay a lot of money to go on my seat, mate. So I'll wait for 5 extra minutes to do my video. Thanks very much. The people demand it. And make sure to check out Baz's videos as well. And we'll be doing the final word live tomorrow over on Patreon. It'll be live on Patreon. It's always live on. It's nearly always live on Patreon. So if you haven't joined us on Patreon, please do. Get over there. Check it out. £3 something a month. Get over there. Get over there. And check us out. There's loads going on. There's a great video over there at the moment with John Blaine talking about the financial stuff and this new coin thing, which just sounds like madness. But there you go. There you go. Thank you for watching. It's now 11:45. I'd like a cup of tea. I'll catch you all later. See you later.